and gentlemen, this is Eddie Marcus once again. I want to thank you so very much for giving me just another moment of your time. Truly indeed, I'm opening up my heart and all of the love that I'm convinced that rests in there will flow out of the words that flow from my mouth that go to your ear, and they will have an effect on you to let you know that love is reaching out to draw the love in you outward so we can spread love across the land. And I have no other reason, no other concerns than we the people. You see, division has got to go. I've always thought that every individual should have whatever they need, whatever they want, whatever they desire in order for their dreams to come true. And number one on that list is survival. And beyond the oxygen that they get through breathing and the blood that flows through their veins, they need other things that comes from us. And they are food, clothing, and shelter, education, and health care. Not an individual on the face of the earth would deny having the ability to express this, turn their back on it. Not a single one. And so if these things are important to each and every last one of us, it seems as if we should guarantee these things to one another. And the only way and the best way to guarantee that to one another is for each of us to play a role in the creative process. And we open that door by allowing each one to have a career of choice, knowing that every career that they choose is nothing but playing a part in that which is required to finish a manifestation of all the goods and services that we the people have determined that are essential for our lives, even today and as we grow tomorrow. It's like one chair existing. And that chair was put together and made together and brought together by several men. Several men played a role in that process, in the process of that manifestation of that chair. Now, there's only one chair. So if I ask you who owns that chair, you know the answer is that everybody that played a role in the creation of it, they own that chair. Then you say, well, how do we work this thing out so everybody can have the benefit of the chair? Then that's a simple answer. You just make a chair for everybody. Especially if you were doing what you desire to do. If you're doing what you have chosen to do, it's not a job. You've heard thousands of people say when they're doing what they want to do and they're getting paid for it, they can't believe it. And so when you're doing what you want to do, you are being paid for it, because in all of the things that you, the people, have brought together and put together and established on this earth, it belongs to all you, the people, to access as you need, want, or desire. That's the plan of life. If it's not from God, I don't know where it comes from, but I'm speaking it from my heart. And so it seems to be simple enough that even a child could understand. But I'm saying these things to you, ladies and gentlemen, because I've been saying these things for so long. And I understand why it won't move you. Basically because the world has established a reality that if you stand up and if you have an effect on any of the people that are blind, if you open any people's eyes, then you got to go, because you are a threat to the system of death. You are a threat to the system of destruction. And you got to go. There is some power somewhere that benefits from all of the pain and all of the suffering that goes on in this country, that goes on in Africa, that goes on in Russia, that goes on in North Korea, Iran, all of the suffering all over this earth. There is someone or some power somewhere that's profiting from it. And it's not the people that's going through the suffering. It's not even the people who are just barely trying to make it within these systems. And even the people who are so blind they are bought into it totally. All of it indicates that there is someone, somewhere, have given it all up to follow something they don't care how destructive it is, as long as it meets their ends. And one of the tools that they use is money. And everything that I just got through explaining to you before, not one penny was needed. Not one loan was required. No debts established, no taxes, no fees, no banks, no anything that has to do with finances. And I know you've been taught that if you leave finances out of it, if you leave capitalism out of it, then you must be taught socialism. I don't know where in the world that stuff comes from. Every last one of you Christian people know that there's nobody suffering for any of this stuff in heaven. That's why you're trying to go there, ain't that right? If you call that socialism, or do you call that heaven? I call this heaven right here, that we have the opportunity to make, that we are being called to make, and that there is someone in this world profiting from all of the suffering in America. And when you find people who are so blind, going along with it, somebody say, well, they're complicit. Say, well, I didn't know. Well, it doesn't make any difference if you didn't know or not. You give it power to mess over people. Senator Graham, when he made his statement about, you heard him the other day speaking out, mad as he could be, but he was agreeing that whatever the women went through was okay. But the man was not going to pay for it at this date because they needed this man for some other purpose. Didn't care about any of us and what the impact would be on the rest of us. He was stating that they need this man for a particular reason, and to heck with the rest. Well, see, that's what the world does. This is why I'm telling you about the sweet world of love, because it says, how many of you don't want this? And if you don't want it, you're not forced to have it, but you'll never have to lie. You'll never have to cheat. You'll never have to steal. You'll never have to kill. You'll never have to go into war or any of this. All you got to do is treat people like you want to be treated. And I'm going to close with this. Today is Sunday. And right at this moment, the churches all over the country, many of them have a great number of people in them. Some of them just got 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6. But they're there nonetheless. And the message that they are going to get today will be similar to the message that they got last Sunday and all of the Sundays before. Jesus Christ is the Son of God, came to this earth without committing any sin, born of a virgin mother, lived in this world very smart at a very early age, was able to do other things that human beings couldn't do, like walk on water, make water into wine, heal the blind, and all other things that people had. He was able to do that, signifying to all of the rest of the community that he was special. He was not like the rest of them. He was spirit and he was God. God, because of the special things that he could do that they couldn't do. Let me ask you something. Have you ever thought what that would have meant if Jesus had not been special like that? Let's say he came to the earth with a father and a mother going through the same situation that we had to go through. Living in the ghetto like we do, they say he did that. And came up through the stuff that we and our parents go through, and was able and smart enough and had enough faith in that he was able to be used to great things like walking on water and turning water into wine and making the blind see and all those kinds of things. Wouldn't that have been kind of great if he could have been exactly like us? You ever ask yourself sometimes why they say Jesus was special and not like us? Was it because they said Adam was like us? Or was Adam really like us? He was born of spirit. He was born of spirit without a mother. At least Jesus had a mother. Adam didn't have a mother. Wow. Wow. You ever thought about that? Anyway, Adam got us, they say, in this mess. And Jesus is going to get us out. And you ask yourself, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, your great-great-grandparents, they all heard these stories. Now you're going to go back out into a world that's ran by all evil institutions with all these good people, good loving people of God, working within these institutions, making sure that these institutions work, making sure that what they are designed to do happen. You know, like putting two people up to represent your government and you. Each of them represent evil, and everybody go to the polls to vote to play their part in making this happen, even though those who say they love God and truth, they are going to the polls voting for evil. Does that say anything to you? Well, they in these churches are not going to tell you how to come outside of that world and see the beauty of the world I just got through explaining that each and every last one of you want, including them. But showing it to them, even if at faith, to such a degree that they can see the world that they live in for what it truly is. And then make a decision. Sure, all of those things that exist in the world, they are all gifts from our Heavenly Father. Gifts to the human population. Gifts to the world that nobody wants all of this stuff, but somebody everywhere wants some of this stuff all the time. And so the great power of the Spirit has prepared materials, desire in human beings to exercise their gifts, and the manifestation exists and is being robbed. The beauty that it was designed for is being robbed by some counterfeit who decide that they don't want the people to be happy. They want to be happy at the expense of the people. And they teach the people in such a way that the people only know one language. And that language is obey or else. And to be on the side of truth and God, you have to step out on or else. Now, I'm talking smack to a lot of you guys. And as I said, I know you're afraid. And as much smack as I've talked, as much as I've indulged myself in, I've protested, gone to jail, committed crimes to try to get a point, knowing that if I don't get the point, I got to do time, done that, walked out on the military, standing up for basic human rights for everybody, and ran for public office every level trying to get a message to you, and it hasn't worked. But at the same time, I'm still walking around breathing and talking just like you, which means that whatever I'm saying, however efforts I'm making, I'm not making the sufficient effort. My children, perhaps, who weren't able to go to college because I didn't have the funds to support them due to my involvement in trying to make the world beautiful, might not even like me for choosing the world over them. All of that might happen. Well, it's true. I decided that I would suffer, so I figure whatever is mine, pay the same price that I pay to support this vision of a brand new, wonderful world for all of us. That was my vision of it, but it is what it is. But in order for me to be a step bigger than what I've been. Even if it means I got to step out here against all of America. And it is all of America. It is all of you. It's not fair for me to say, for me to stand up against the United States government. If I say for me to stand up against the United States government, it means I'm taking the responsibility off your shoulders. You see, you are supposed to be the United States government. And when I say I'm going to stand up for all of those rights for me, who choose to accept what God has given me, in spite of everybody that I've ever spoken to about it, about their gift from God and their rejection of it. That doesn't mean I got to be compelled, because for whatever your reasons are, which I know quite well what they are, the same as mine has been, but for some reason now I'm got to take the next step, otherwise I'm fake. And so when I say I require food, clothing, and shelter as I need, want, or desire, and all those other things in between, education, health care, and the career that I have is the career that I'm doing right now. It is my choice to sit here constantly and keep on preaching this message, but at the same time requiring you, the people, if you want to keep the system like you got the system, and it is you that got the system, you can't blame it on the Republicans. You can't blame it on the Democrats. It's you, the people, who allow all of this stuff to happen. And if you decide that you would rather attack me for trying to claim my basic human God-given rights from a package that even you are in the same grab bag of benefits, but you choose not to receive it, that's cool. I'm not going to try to force you. I will keep teaching you. I'll keep talking to you if you listen. But at the meantime, I won't mind. And since I know how you feel and watched how you killed Dr. King, I watched how you killed Medgar Evers and Malcolm X and John and Robert Kennedy and John Brown. I ain't heard about John Brown. I heard about Abe Lincoln, and I heard about Gandhi and Jesus. I watched how you killed them. No, I know you say the government killed them, the Jews killed them. No, I'm going to tell you who killed them. Every last one of you who were living during those times, you killed them. You know why you killed them? Because you know what they represented. They were killed because they had faith in what they represented and how it would benefit you. And rather than you standing up for what they were killed for and demanding that it become part of your life, you gave in and walked as if he didn't even exist. Or you made a statue. Yeah, you killed them. If you lived in those days and in those times, and they died so you could know the truth, and you turn your back on it and walk on the other side, you kill them. And when I step out, I won't mind or know that it'll be you that's killing me. It's not the United States government. It's you, the people, because you got a choice to make. Are you going to allow this to happen or aren't you? And you know if you allow it to happen, eventually you're going to have to allow it to happen for everybody. And that's the business. Real or fake? We'll see. Thank you so very much. Bye-bye.